Hi, and welcome to your final water cycle test. It's so exciting. All right, so just like last time, I am going to go ahead and read through the questions. Feel free to follow along or pause anytime that you need. So first things first, please make sure your name's at the top. And then I'm going to go through the vocabulary terms, and then I will read the corresponding definitions. All right, starting over on the left side with molecule, solid, water cycle, relative spacing, gas, state of matter, thermal energy, liquid. All right, moving over to the right side. A is the continuous movement of water between the Earth's reservoirs driven by the energy from the sun and gravity. Please make sure you put the letter A on the corresponding line that you think goes with this definition. B, when molecules move slowly or vibrate and are tightly packed. C, how close together or far apart molecules or atoms are. D, a group of atoms held together by a bond. E, when molecules move fast, far apart, and do not touch unless they collide. F, different states that matter can take on, including solid, liquid, and gas. G, the total amount of energy carried by a system's molecules, and this can increase and decrease. H, when molecules move at a medium speed and slide past each other. All right, I'm going to move on to the multiple choice. If you are still working on the matching, feel free to pause or drag the video back so you can re-listen to everything. But I am going to move on to the multiple choice. So pick the one best answer choice for each statement. 9. When determining whether a substance is a solid, liquid, or gas, you should look at A, the temperature of the molecules, B, the speed and the relative spacing of the molecules, C, the color of the molecules, or D, the speed and the direction of the molecule movement. Ten. A sealed water bottle is placed on Bob's desk. After 20 minutes, water droplets appear on the outside of the bottle. What process is taking place? Is it evaporation, transpiration, condensation, or no process is taking place, the water bottle is leaking? (11) Oceans, clouds, and animals are all examples of states of matter, Emma's favorite things to look at, criteria, or reservoirs. 12. Which of the following states of matter do molecules never touch unless they collide? Is it solid, liquid, gas, or all the above, molecules always touch? 13. Thermal energy blank when water freezes. Does thermal energy increase when water freezes? Decrease? Stays the same? Or no longer exists? What happens to thermal energy when water freezes? For the next portion, we need to use the diagram on the right to answer questions 14 through 16. For this scenario, Ms. Bulk has taken a beaker of water and placed it carefully over a lit burner in the classroom, as shown in the diagram on the right. After 10 minutes, the water begins to boil and steam rises from the beaker. So here's the burner. It has an open flame, and the water in the beaker begins to boil and steam rises from the beaker, or water vapor. For question 14, what will happen to the speed of the water molecules in the beaker if the burner stays lit? So we are looking at the speed of the water molecules as the burner stays lit and the water continues to boil. Will the speed of the molecules increase? Would the speed of the molecules decrease? Or would the speed of the molecules stay the same? Next, if the burner stays lit and the water continues to boil and turn into water vapor, what will happen to the relative spacing of the water molecules in the beaker if the burner stays lit? Will the relative spacing increase? Will the relative spacing decrease? Or the relative spacing will stay the same? (16) What is happening to the thermal energy of the water molecules if the burner stays lit? So again, if the water continues to boil and turn into steam, what is happening to the thermal energy? Is the thermal energy increasing? Is the thermal energy decreasing? Or does the thermal energy stay the same? All right, the next portion is true and false. So please write true if you believe each statement to be true, or write false if you believe that the statement should be false. So each of these numbers needs a true or false next to it. Let's start with number 17. In a solid, molecules do not have a definite shape, or in other words, they do take the shape of their container. So molecules do not have a definite shape, so they are able to take the shape of their container. Is that true or false for a solid? (18) Changes of state are reversible. True or false? Changes of state are reversible. (19) Thermal energy can increase and decrease. True or false? Thermal energy can both increase and decrease. For the next little question, you need to draw and label the beakers appropriately. Draw water molecules in the beakers as a solid, liquid, and gas. Please be sure to indicate the speed and the relative spacing of the molecules. So when you draw these, please make sure you indicate the speed and the spacing of each of the molecules in the beakers. So you're drawing water molecules as a solid, liquid, and gas. If you need a pause, please pause. If you need some time to correct your drawings, I am going to move on to the next question. 21. Describe how the change in thermal energy helps water cycle through Earth. So think about those processes. Describe how the change in thermal energy helps water cycle through Earth. think about how the change in thermal energy can help water move from place to place. And the last portion, you just need to label the diagram appropriately. So this was very similar to the IXLs. Please use this word bank to place the correct word in the box. The first word is transpiration, then runoff, evaporation, condensation, groundwater movement, precipitation, infiltration. This arrow is going from the cloud to the land. This arrow is moving down the land, or the surface. I guess this you can also call the surface. This arrow is going from the surface to underground. This arrow is going from the water source to the atmosphere. This arrow is going from the tree to the atmosphere. And this arrow is going from the atmosphere to a cloud, or the air to a cloud. This arrow is going from an underground source to another underground source. So after you finish that up, congratulations, you've finished your final water cycle test. Please make sure your name is on it once again and raise your hand and I will collect it. Thank you.